back to another movie review, and today we are reviewing Kinds of Kindness. Yes, Kinds of Kindness is the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie, starring Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Joe Alwyn, mine's gone blank, Willem Dafoe, and Yorgos himself. Actually, he does play quite a pivotal role, I'd say, in some of the stories. Very much not a film for me. I'm going to say right off the bat, it's a very strange movie. 100% one of the weirdest films I've ever seen. And the only thing going for it, I absolutely hated the plot. Enjoyment level of this film would be a 1 out of 10. I despised it. I would never want to watch this film again in terms of an enjoyment level. If it wasn't for YouTube, I would have walked out. There was many people that walked out. I'm not going to lie. There was like a couple, and then this guy on his own. They didn't come back after going to the toilet or whatever. They just didn't come back. So this does divide opinions, I think, and this is not a mainstream movie. And it feels very indie and independent and all that, and those things are not for me. Like, we're all entitled to what we like, what we dislike, all of that, and this is just something that's not for me. I absolutely loved Poor Things. I still do. I think it's my best, well, it is my best film of 2024 so far, but unfortunately, I really thought this would be up there, but it's not. So in a nutshell, Kinds of Kindness basically starts in 3 different stories. So it's all to do with RMF, and like, he can fly, and the next one he can do something else and do something else. I didn't really pay much attention, but basically there are 3 different stories about RMF, and there's a lot of deep meaning there and all that, and I think once you watch it a couple of times, or you actually pay a lot of attention to it, I think it would mean something to you. But for me, it was just not as that engaging that I even cared to want to pay attention. Do you know what I mean? I was switched off. It just didn't invite me and make sense. I'm so glad I went on my own, because if I took somebody else to go and see this film in the cinema, I think I'd have been really embarrassed asking someone to give up their time. But the fact that I went to watch this on my own, and yeah, the only saving grace of the film for me, and the things that actually get the scores for me, which I will say now, the score for me is a 2-star. I did give it a 2-star. Now, the things that actually get those stars for me is basically the performances. Now, everyone's raving, and this is like the Emma Stone thing. No, Emma Stone does not steal the show, in my opinion. I think she's much better in Poor Things. I think she plays the 3rd act of the movie quite well. I think the 1st act, she's not very good in there at all. But the third move, like the second one, I can't remember her performance, which is telling, I guess. But the 3rd, like, short story, she was actually really good in. But for me, in all of them, I thought Jesse Plemons was exceptional. Willem Dafoe was just this like supporting character, although he was really good in the 1st story. I think the 1st story was the best, but that was ironically the one that Emma Stone actually wasn't in as much. So yeah, it just wasn't what I expected it to be. You know, you kind of expect, I didn't know much about the story. I didn't really read much about it. Whenever the trailer came on in the cinema, I kind of just like, I didn't want to look too much about it, because, you know, I know it's got the director, that's my #1 film of the year. It's got the main actress and also the main actor, Willem Dafoe, that was in Poor Things. So I thought these 3 combining again with Jesse Plemons, who's always pretty decent whenever he's in things and stuff, I thought this is going to be pretty good, but it just didn't land at all for me. It was way off the mark, and it's a shame, because I was really looking forward to it, and yeah. So as I said, there is my rating of the movie. It's a real shame, and probably the biggest miss of the year so far for me. I really thought that I'd like this film. Don't get me wrong, there's so many good things about this film in terms of the acting performances. As I said, you know, Jesse Plemons for me steals the absolute show, but the story is just weird. I mean, at one point, I think Jesse Plemons' character asked Emma Stone to cut her finger off, which we saw a very gruesome scene. Cut her like thumb off or finger off, and then fry it and serve it to him with some broccoli and cauliflower. It's odd. It's very strange. It's unsettling, and it's like the weird mind of somebody. How does somebody get funding to make something like this? I mean, maybe winning an Oscar and having the best actress for Oscar, and obviously maybe that's something going for you. But how does this get greenlit? I don't understand, because yeah, there's being creative, and then there's being an artist and stuff, and then there's being disturbing. Like, and this was disturbing, in my opinion. So it's a real shame. Unfortunately, Kinds of Kindness doesn't hit the heights that Poor Things did for me, and yeah, there it is. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Of course, we're nearly at the end of the month of June, and I'll be ranking all of my June movies in early July, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.